share with you a scripture that would confirm what Revelation 18 is telling us about. And the title of this word is Babylon is Fallen, Revelation 18, the plagues of Egypt of today. The plagues of Egypt of today. For this word, we'll also go along with Genesis chapter 15, for we know that the children of Israel shall be afflicted for 400 years in the land of their captivity. We learned that that land is the land of the north, as Jeremiah prophesies in chapter 16, which is America. For we have proof, for they passed the H.R. bill notifying the world that who they call the African Americans have been here for 400 years. And since 2019 to 2020, we have been seeing things popping off and things will increase. Okay, so the answer is in Torah. I love how Torah backs up the gospel, the renewed covenant, to confirm unto us that our Father is the same, he does not change. This is why he left the testimonies of our forefathers and of the children of Israel to be a witness unto you, to let you know what was done back then shall be done again. Okay, so let's get right into it first. I will be sharing some copyright material with you, so I want to get this out the way right quick. Also, we know that the Bible is the Word of God, for in America, in the public law 97-280, they agree that the King James Bible is the Word of Yah. Okay? First, I want to read Revelation 18 unto us. Okay? For Revelation 18, chapter summary says of the King James 611 Bible, it says that Babylon is fallen. The people of Yahuwah commanded to depart of her. The kings of the earth with the merchants and mariners lament over her. The saints rejoice for the judgment of Yahuwah upon her. Now, saints are the most holies. They are the beloved Yah. They too keep his commandments, okay? And they have the highest inheritance in the kingdom of heaven, for they will dwell in his house. They would dwell in the new Jerusalem. Now the children of Israel, which is the house of Israel and the house of Judah, the two stick that which become one, which is the one menorah, okay, they will live around his holy house, giving back their lands, okay, for they are his holy people and they represent the sanctuary. All right, when we understand these things in Torah, which are earthly things, then we'll understand the heavenly things and the prophecies. So let us read a few verses. Well, verse 1 says this: And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with her glory, with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Now, this is a verse you want to highlight. We need to understand, what does it mean that Babylon has fallen? To understand the definition of that, we have to go back to what? Exodus. Okay? How did the Father break Pharaoh's kingdom? He broke Pharaoh's kingdom with what? The 10 plagues of Egypt. This is why you need to go back and study those 10 plagues. For we have seen some of these plagues have come, right, has, are being fulfilled. Forgive me, brothers and sisters, my tongue. These 10 plagues of Egypt are being fulfilled right before our eyes. So as the prophet Malachi has said unto us, Yahuwah is the same, meaning that he does not change. So we also learn from looking at the image of Nebuchadnezzar, looking at the eye and the clay, we learn that Rome today does the same as the kingdom of Egypt, as well as the ancient kingdom of Babylon. For that fourth beast kingdom is inclusive of the past kingdoms that it has consumed. Okay? So it's very important, brothers and sisters, that you watch that video because it's a lot of deep things to understand why a deliverer must come and why Babylon has to fall and how does she fall. To get that answer is in Torah. All right? So highlight that verse. Now the next verse we're going to read is that verse 3. Now notice why she has to fall. The Father's telling us why. For all the nation has drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So basically it's telling her she had led all the nations of the earth into what? Idolatry. Into serving other gods. And not the God, DL, the Most High, who is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And we know this is true, for they have profited off of the bondage of the children of Israel. And we also see there's always constantly commerce going on, the buying and selling of things. And Revelation 18 will give you a breakdown of what these things are. Okay? And Father's reminding me too, there's also trafficking of other people as well that comes from different nations and tribes too. All right? So this is why we are in Egypt. What was done back then is done the same. We are in the house of bondage. For we are in that iron furnace of Egypt. All right. Verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahuwah have remembered her iniquities. Okay? Verse 6 says, Reward her even as she reward you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup in which she hath filled, filled, filled to her double. And this is to remind me of the prophecy of what I believe it was Isaiah, that the cup now that he had given unto Israel to drink, now he shall give it unto the Gentiles to drink, which would be a double portion. Okay. So now that we got that out the way, so to understand or to know how do we know when Babylon is fallen? For we learn that we are in a kingdom that is iron, okay? And this kingdom that is iron is mixed with clay, and we are in the end time of this kingdom now. Soon this kingdom will be ending very soon, for what we learn from the image of Nebuchadnezzar, all right? So first I want to give you the verse that will confirm about what I'm saying, how she will fall. Okay? For the head of the dragon must be broken. So this kingdom must be broken. How will she fall? Okay? I'm in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 15. Now we're going to go back and read the chapter summary, and we're going to read a whole chapter because now Torah is going to give you the mind of our Father and why he is the same, and why we see some of these plagues of Egypt, such as pestilence. We also see lice in people's hair. We see I'm trying to think what's those insect names that eat up the crops. That's been going on. We have seen water turn into blood. We have seen some of these plagues that was given in ancient Egypt. We are seeing them being coming forth today. So Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 15, it says this, and the Lord would take away from thee all sickness. Now he's speaking unto the children of Israel because they had already came out of Egypt. So think about this as we reading this. They had already came out from the house of bondage. And it says here, and Yahuwah will take away from thee all sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee. So the precepts for that verse is Exodus chapter 9, verse 14, and Exodus chapter 15, verse 26. When you have some time, read those precepts. It's very important. Notice what the Father say. Those who hate the children of Israel, he shall lay the evil diseases of Egypt upon them. Highlight that. Highlight that. So how he's going to break America, because right now, this is one of the countries that has to go down first before the last one can reign like the way he want to. America has to go down first, okay? Before the last one can reign like he want to. Remember Revelation 17, he's going to convince the 10 to take her out. And that is the whore that sits upon the beast, the whore that sits upon the dragon. And that whore is America. So she shall be destroyed by the 8 that comes out of the 7 kingdoms. This 8 one to rule shall come out of the 7. Okay? Very important to know. So now we're going to read a chapter summary. We're going to Deuteronomy chapter 7, for it says, all communion with the nation is forbidden for fear of, I can say this word before, but now I cannot say it. Idolatry, sorry. For fear of idolatry. Now you begin to understand our Father mindset, why Israel could not mingle themselves with the other nations, for the fear of idolatry, for the holiness of the people. Okay, that's another reason why they couldn't mingle with the other nation. For they was a holy people. They was sanctified. They was anointed with his spirit. Okay, therefore holy cannot mix with unholy. If they do, they will become what? Defiled, unclean, profane. The next reason is why they are forbidding with communion with the other nation. For the nature of Yahuwah in his mercy and justice. For the assuredness of victory which Yahuwah would give over them. Okay. Verse 1. When Yahuwah thy God shall bring thee into the land where thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. Underline that. He always talk about that 7, don't he, y'all? There are videos on the channel that will give you understanding what 7 means to the Father. But 7 represent sanctification, to be cleansed, to be holy, to be set apart, to rest, Shabbat, perfected, to be upright, to be righteous. Go to Genesis chapter 2 and you'll see what I'm talking about with the number 7. Verse 2. And when Yahuwah thy El shall deliver them before thee, so when those nations are delivered before the children of Israel, those 7 nations, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Here's the precepts for that chapter, Exodus chapter 23, verse 32, and chapter 34, verse 12. Okay? Think about this. The Father's serious, and we're going to see the same come upon the earth. Those who serve the other gods, notice this. When that door is closed, just like on Noah's Ark, just like that way of escape that the Father has for us, for those who are of these Shavuot harvests, the bride, the 144, the house of Israel, and the house of Judah. Notice here, when that grace and mercy is over, they will not be shown any grace and mercy, and they shall be what? Destroyed. Okay? Because they want to serve other gods, and they don't want to believe his truth. Something to know, to think about. Okay? So this is why Israel cannot mix with them nor make any covenants with them. Okay? Verse 3. Neither shall they make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Yahuwah be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. Do you see what the children of Israel had to do in the land of Israel? They had to clean it so it can be what? Holy and set apart. Verse 6, and shalom to my brother that came on. For thou art a holy people unto Yahuwah thy El. Yahuwah thy El has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Highlight that, for this is not forgotten. Okay? This is not forgotten. The children of Israel are a holy people unto Yahuwah, and they were set apart to go in covenant with him. And soon those broken branches will be grafted back into the olive tree, so they will be in covenant with him. So his word do not change. It remained the same. Verse 7. And Yahuwah did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. So now these following verses we reading shall give us the reason why they are a holy people unto him, and also why they are a special people unto him. Okay. Also, here are the precepts for verse 6. You need to go to Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 2, and Deuteronomy chapter 26, verse 19, Exodus chapter 19, verse 3, 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. Okay? Verse 7, and Yahuwah did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because Yahuwah loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers, have Yahuwah brought you out with a mighty hand. Underline that. Who is that mighty hand? Yahusha HaMashiach. And redeemed you out of the house of bondmen. Underline that. From the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. What was done back then is same now. Are we not in the Egypt of today? Is there not a Pharaoh king of Egypt of today? For if you listen to Yahoo prophetic messages that are listed in the video description box, okay, and also check on the videos that's attached to this video, listen to that. For his prophetess has spoken to Pharaoh today to let his people go. So you're seeing that history repeats itself. Why? We are still in the house of bondage, Israelites and Gentiles. We cannot set ourselves free. For this kingdom is of iron. And the only one that can break this kingdom of iron, or this kingdom of the iron furnace of Egypt, is Yahusha HaMashiach, the living word who was clothed into flesh of a descendant of David, which is Miriam. Okay? So notice here, the reason why he chose them to be a holy people unto him and to be a special people unto him is because he loved them and because he made an oath unto their forefathers and because he brought them out with a mighty hand and redeemed them out of the house of bondage. So when you meditate on this, he shed blood for them. He killed for them. Okay? Verse 9. Know therefore that Yahuwah thou El, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant. What is covenant, y'all? Marriage. To be united, to bring two together. Genesis chapter 2. For man and wife shall be one flesh. So just as they are one flesh, we are one with Yah. We are one with Yah. Therefore, when we are one with Yah, we are also one with the Godhead. Yahuwah, Yahusha, and wisdom, our mother. Okay? He is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. So notice here, Yahuwah is their God, and he is a faithful God unto them, meaning that he's trusting and he do not lie and he keep his word. Okay? And he's faithful unto them of those who what? Keepeth his covenant. Therefore, those who keep his covenant, he have mercy upon them that love him. Okay? And keep his commandment. That reminds me of the 10 commandments. Okay? He said, well, in Deuteronomy chapter 5, let's go to it now. Verse 9, thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, Yahuwah thy El, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. So he going to judge the ones that hate him and don't keep his commandment. And I'm here to tell you we are in the fourth generation. It go along with Genesis chapter 15. Because each 100 years for that particular prophecy represent a generation. So they who call the African Americans, who are actually the children of Israel, we are in the fourth generation. So the third and generation are still alive and prevalent today. Okay? So those who do not keep his commandments, They actually hate him. So judgment is going to fall upon them for their wickedness. But those who love him and keep his commandment, he will show mercy unto them. Okay? That was Deuteronomy chapter 5. Now let us go back to verse 10. And he repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hate him. He will repay him to his face. So as you see these plagues coming upon the earth and unto America, when you see some of the children of Israel dying from those plagues, it explains why. Okay? Father see all and know all. All right? Verse 11. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgment which I commanded thee this day to do them. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments, and keep and do them, that Yahuwah thy El shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto thy fathers. So, to understand all the promises that he made unto you, O children of Israel, you need to go back and study. For notice here what he say, they who keep what? His commandments and his statutes and his judgment. Let me see here. Make sure I didn't jump wrong. I'm sorry. They who keep his they who listen to his judgments and keep and do them, that Yahuwah will keep them to the covenant and show them mercy. Okay. Verse 13. And he will love thee and bless thee and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb and the fruit of thy land, thy corn and thy wine and thy oil, and the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep in the land which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee. So notice here, when they keep the covenant, he's going to what? Bless them in all areas. They're going to be fruitful of the womb. Their land is going to be productive, even down to their flocks, okay? The animals they keep. They're not going to lack for nothing, okay? That's what he does. He is our Father. Therefore, he is a what? A provider, a protector, a husband, okay? Unto us. Verse 14. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female bearing among you or among your cattle. And we can see evidence today how fruitful the children of Israel is. This is why we see our enemies try to get us to abort our babies, or they try to sterilize us. We can see that happening in America as well as in the land of Israel. Look at the Jews of Ethiopia and what they went through. So this is another sign to let you know who are the children of Israel. Okay? Very fruitful and multiply. For as it was promised unto Abraham, that his lineage, like when you look at the children of Israel, they would be like the sand of the sea and like the stars of the heaven. There'll be so many of them, you cannot count them. Okay? Verse 15. And Yahuwah will take away from thee all sickness. Okay, so he's going to heal them, make them whole. Okay, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest. Underline that. How do they know this? They used to live in Egypt. But he what? He got them out of hell. He got them out of Sheol. He got them out of the iron furnace. All right, because they was going through what? Pains, afflictions, deaths, etc. So they were going through hell, y'all, right? And we know Satan was in that Pharaoh of Egypt, and that Pharaoh has been identified now. His name is Atmos the first. For his name means something with moon in the Egyptian tongue, but in the Hebrew tongue, his name means brother to Moses. Ahmose, the Roman numeral I. Okay. Upon thee, but we lay them upon all them that hate thee. So we know our Father's the same. So he's going to break America with the plagues of Egypt. He's going to break her. And when he break her, children of Israel and the Gentiles who are also in covenant with us, okay, you're going to know when to flee. Now, I had to tell you this. The Father does have a way of escape, but that would be another word in the video to come. All right? But right now, the dragon has a stronghold on us. He has that iron upon us, the iron of yoke upon our necks, where we cannot deliver ourselves. Okay? I'm talking about physically and spiritually. Remember, some of our brothers or sisters are dealing with health problems. Some of our brothers and sisters are in jails and prisons. Some of our brothers and sisters don't have the financial means. Okay? Do you understand what I'm going with this? So, the Father will have a way for the majority to escape. All right? Those who want to worship and serve Him, whether you are Israelites and Gentiles. Do you hear me? When you understand all the biblical prophecies that pertain to the bride of Messiah, to the 144,000 Israelites, to the house of Israel and the house of Judah, then you understand why I'm saying that the Father will have a way of escape for the Israelites and the Gentiles who want to worship and serve Him. Okay? Who wants to keep His commandments. All right. Verse 16. And thou shalt consume all the people which Yahuwah thy God shall deliver thee. Thy eye shall have no pity upon them, neither shalt thou serve their gods, for that would be a snare unto thee. Okay? Think about the time when they was conquering the land of Canaan. They killed what? Man, woman, child, and beast. Okay? So what was done back then, it's going to happen again, y'all. Father ain't playing. He's going to kill man, woman, child, and beast. Those who are wicked, He's going to slay them. Okay? Verse 17. For thou shalt say in thy heart, these nations are more than I. How can I dispossess them? So that's the question that they're going to ask in their heart. Because in the beginning of this verse, we learned that those nations was greater and mightier than them when you could look at the physical attributes. Okay? So this is what the children of Israel was asking the Father in their heart. Verse 18. Thou shalt not be afraid of them, but shall well remember what Yahuwah thy El did unto Pharaoh and unto all Egypt. Now, if you understand the way of our Father, He always used what? A remnant. Or He always used those who are weaker or lesser. Okay? Why does He does that? Think about it. to show you that he is God. He is the Most High. He is the El. He is the El Shaddai, the Almighty. So you would know that it is him doing these things and not by man's hands. So no one can claim his honor and glory. That's how he works. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 1. Notice how he used the foolish things of the world. He never choose the one who have the greatest speech. He never choose the one who have the big platform. He always choose those that many think are beneath them. He does that to catch your attention. This is why anything can be used on his behalf. Animals, children, women, men. Even his creations, the heavens and the earth. For all these things can speak on his behalf according to his authority. Okay? So this is something that we need to remember now. It's the same, it's going to be the same now. So we shouldn't be afraid of the wicked and of their powerful ones, who are the angels, the fallen ones from heaven, Satan and his league. We should not fear them, okay? Because we got the most powerful one. This is why he called the Most High. He's above all. He's even above the Messiah. He's also above wisdom. And he is above all the angels that he created. Okay? Verse 19. The great temptation which thy eyes saw, and the signs, and the wonders, and the mighty hand, underline that. And the stretched out arm, underline that. The mighty hand, the stretched out arm is Yahusha HaMashiach, whereby Yahuwah thy El brought thee out, so shall Yahuwah thy El do unto all the people of whom thou art afraid. Just as the prophets say that he would prove himself unto Israel that he is the God. Just like it's been prophesied by Jeremiah chapter 16, that he would no longer be known as the God who delivered his people out of Egypt, the house of bondage, but he would be known as the God who delivered his people out of the land of the north, out of Babylon, out of America. Okay? Moreover, Yahuwah thy El will send the hornets among them until they that are left and hid themselves from thee be destroyed. Now that reminds me, in the news event, did we have some big hornets to come over here? The biggest hornets I've seen. Wow. But anyway, let us keep reading. Verse 21. Thou shalt not be affrighted at them. Do you hear this, Israelites and Gentiles? Just like now. We should not be affrighted at these wicked ones. For Yahuwah thy El is among you, a mighty God and terrible. And Yahuwah thy El will put out those nations before thee by little and little. So now we understand he don't just take off right away, because when the 400 years were up, people was looking for something big. But as we see, we done seen one plague that came and it has destroyed a lot of people. It has changed the way things are running now, and we are still feeling the impacts of it. But y'all, more is to come. Okay? So now you notice that he does it little by little. Thou mayest not consume them at once. Do you see that? So he don't allow them to consume them all at once. Father has his ways and reason why. So thou mayest not consume them at once, lest the beasts of the field increase upon thee. So the Father have his reason why. So if they took out those 7 nations all at once, the animals would increase and begin to take over the land. So everything has to be done in balance. Wow. Isn't the Father great? So even then it shall be now, little by little, right? But Yahuwah El shall deliver them unto thee, and shall destroy them with a mighty destruction until they be destroyed. So that is the definition that Babylon is falling, is falling, is falling. Falling means that until they shall be destroyed. Let me read this right. With Babylon, Babylon shall be destroyed, them with a mighty destruction, underline that, until they be destroyed. Okay? So we're not there yet, but we're getting there. Okay? So here are the side notes. Right here, I'm going to try to get my phone. There we go. And then the precepts for verse 20. Exodus chapter 23, verse 28. Joshua chapter 24, verse 12. And then the precept for verse 16 is Exodus chapter 23, verse 23. Now, I'm not going to say this out loud because I gave you the precept of verse 15 in the beginning of the video. And then the precept for verse 14 is Exodus chapter 23, verse 26. You can also go to the King James website too to get those precepts as well. I'm reading your comment, brother. So physically and as a concept, so as an idea. Basically what this word is telling us is giving us the mindset of our Father and how he does not change. So what you see he did to ancient Egypt, and what you see what he did to those 7 great mighty nations that comes from the son of Canaan, who was the son of Ham. Okay, what we see back then, it's going to be, when I say the same, he is going to put plagues upon this world. And when it comes to America, he's going to put a great amount of plagues upon her to break her. Okay. So yes, physically, but as an idea, I want to say it's more of a fact and the truth, because it's just beginning over here. And the Father is telling me, look at the government, look at the laws they are making and passing. And one of the things they recognize the African American for being in this country for 400 years. And since they came to this country, as lining up to Genesis 15, we see that it aligns up to the prophecy that they shall be afflicted. So we are still constantly afflicted to this day. Okay, even I have experienced what they call racism. Okay, so, and then too, they have never really, when I say apologize, when you apologize or you repent from your wickedness, you should return back what you've stolen. They have not done that. Nor have they given us any reparation, and they're not going to give us any reparations. Now, how we know that this can't be done, we have seen what has been done to other nations. We know they have given reparations to the Jewish, they have given reparation to the Japanese, etc. So we can see other countries giving reparation to those that they have offended or done wrong. Okay. So this is how, that's another proof of knowing who we are and why we are going through so much hell in this earth. For we are dealing with Satan and his angels, and we're dealing with those nations who have went in covenant with Satan, for this is his kingdom. Definitely read Matthew chapter 4 and Luke chapter 4. Okay, he says the concept of New Babylon we're in is what I mean. Okay, Yes, you're right. The mystery Babylon is coming to an end. So the eight beasts or the eight kingdom out of the seven can come and establish his reign upon the earth. And that is the end of, or the ending of the fourth beast kingdom. All right. Thank you, brother, for clarifying that. So now we're going to read verse 24. And he shall deliver their kings into thy hand, and thou shalt destroy their name from under the heaven. There shall no man be able to stand before thee until thou have destroyed them. Now, this is also reminding me of the prophecy that Isaiah had given unto us that will come to pass dealing with the kings and queens of this earth today. I'm going to try to pull it up for you. For example, while I'm putting it up, let me go over the other parts of this verse. So again, no other nation or man would be able to stand before them until Israel has destroyed them. Okay. So we're going to see how the Father is going to break down the nation of the earth in his time of judgment and his wrath. Also, we're going to see how the Messiah is going to break down these other nations during the millennial reign as well. So now I'm going to go to Isaiah. Okay, I'm going to Isaiah chapter 60. Isaiah chapter 60, chapter summary says, the glory of the church, and I really like to say the glory of the bride or the glory of the congregation of Israel, because nothing really changed, y'all. Even in the old covenant, old marriage, you have Israelites and Gentiles who enter into that covenant. For even the strangers came out with them from the house of bondage, which is Egypt. Well, that's the same in their new covenant. We have Israelites and Gentiles in their new covenant that our blessed Messiah has established with us. So it's still dealing with the congregation of Israel, which is the bride. Okay. So the glory of the bride or the congregation of Israel in the abundant access of the Gentiles and the great blessings after a short affliction. Okay. So we're going to look at, because it's talking about the abundance of the Gentiles. Okay. And I want you to read that in your spare time. Let me go back for a second. For example, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Yahuwah shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. Okay. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and the kings to the brightness of thy rising. So when Israel is restored to their proper place, you're going to see a glory upon them, which is the light of Yah. And because that light is upon them, it's going to cause the Gentiles to come to that light. Remember, we're still in the world of darkness. So in this world of darkness, to understand what that darkness is, go to Luke, I think chapter 1, and I can't remember what prophecy. But when the Messiah came to the earth, he was to bring us out of darkness into light, for we was bound and blind by Satan. So we could not hear, nor could we see, and our hearts were hardened. So that light is going to draw them, and it's going to remove those things from them, where they can start learning the ways of our Father and to receive his covenant and his commandments, which is what? His laws, statutes, and judgments. Okay. Trying to see which verse. Well, I know at verse 12, that's a part of what we're reading. For the prophet Isaiah prophesies this. He said, "For the nation and kingdom that will not serve Israel shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted." So again, they will be destroyed. Okay? Because in this future prophecy, they would be in the righteousness of Yah, meaning that Yahusha Mashiach would be King of Kings and Lord of Lords over them, and Yahuwah will be over the Messiah. So Messiah will get his instruction from Yahuwah, and Yahuwah will force them with the rod of iron upon the earth. Okay? And he will reign over the children of Israel. Here it go. Verse 16. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I, Yahuwah, am thy Savior, and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob, Yaqub. Okay? So meaning that the Gentile is going to provide what the children of Israel need, whether it's nourishment or wealth. Okay? So you want to go and read that prophecy in Isaiah chapter 60, and here are the side notes. Okay? I'm gonna have to hurry up because I think I lost my time, y'all. Okay, now I'm good. Okay. So I called them right back. So let me hurry up because it might be something important. Okay, let me see where we at. Verse 25. The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination. So here's the side note for that. Okay, hopefully y'all can see it. So as you see, the Father doesn't play with idolatry and their images. Okay, so that all that stuff gonna be destroyed. Okay, for he says here. Let me read this verse again. The graven images of their gods shall be burned with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein. So even their silver and gold, and the Father have a reason why. When you understand the spiritual things, there are spiritual things that are attached to it, because once you dedicate those things to those gods, it has to be burned. Okay? For it is an abomination unto Yahuwah. So he hates that. So you see, he is a L that separates holy from unholy. Okay. So you cannot bring him something that has been dedicated or offered to another God. Verse 20. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thy house, lest thou be a cursed thing like it, but thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. So even today, you got to be careful what you bring in your house. Okay? For we are the children of Yah, we are the children of the light, and we are in covenant with him. And we have to understand our Father's mindset and his ways and be respectful. So in order to show how we love him, we don't do those things. We do not partake in those things or do those things, because if we do, it hurt him. Remember, he is a jealous God, and he don't want you to put anyone or any other thing before him. So to close out this live word today, notice here in verse 15. And this is going to come to pass as we see it now. Those who hate the children of Israel, listen up what the Father's going to do. And Yahuwah will take away from all deed, all sickness. Okay. So he's talking to the children of Israel. He would take away all their sickness and would put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee. So those who hate the children of Israel, judgment is upon their head. All right, my brothers and sisters, I have said enough in this video. Thank you for taking your time to listen to the word of Yah and seeing how these things are manifesting even now. For we see our Father is still the same. He does not change. And this helps us to understand the end time prophecies. Continue, my brothers and sisters, to preach the gospel that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, for it is coming, it is nigh, it is near. For those who have been studying Yahuwah's timeline with me, we know we do not have long. So get your house in order, Israelites and Gentiles, okay? For the Shavuot harvest, known as the Pentecost harvest, is coming, and he's only taking that righteous remnant to the way of escape, okay? But the rest of them have to remain in what? In the furnace, in the iron furnace of Egypt to get perfected, okay? And once they are perfected, then we'll get to the third harvest, which is Sukkot or Sukkot, which is the Feast of Tabernacles, the last gathering. I hope y'all enjoyed this word. I enjoyed it too. Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10 and baptize them in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach. For the Lamb set the example of the water baptism and the Holy Spirit baptism. So if you have no one to baptize you, exercise your faith with works, baptize yourself. For the heavens, the waters, and the earth can testify on your behalf that you have entered into the covenant with Yahusha HaMashiach. And the same is with the Holy Spirit baptism. All you have to do is ask in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, and our Father will give you the Holy Spirit baptism, but it's given according to your heart, your faith, and your works. Love you all, and shalom.